That's fun. Hello, everybody. We're gonna get started soon.
With 32 people is pretty fun.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be good.
Oh yeah. It's
there's
super
that.
chaotic.
You know what?
If they turn on all the shit, you don't have to like level up shit.
All items, yeah.
Yeah, it's just fucking. I am ready.
Yep, same. I tweeted.
Is Christian got kind of a Christopher Walken voice going on tonight, Mike? Or I'm just hearing things?
He sounds exactly the same to me.
Okay, he was, I'm ready.
I mean, he always had a little bit of that.
I am the emperor of...
Okay. Yeah, I think we're looking good. There we go. Match your freak.
Yeah, but it's spies, and I can't do it.
Alright. Well, I'll let this song play for a second just because it's type 4.
Did anybody crack the Monster Hunter beta yet?
Mike played a little bit.
Crack it.
Crack it.
He means like...
I keep playing it.
Oh. You mean literally crack it?
Come on, Reddit. Yeah. Crimes.
Sure.
Is it a crime?
It's probably against the MCA, but that's not a real crime.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're looking good. I think I'm gonna tweet and then we can get started. Let's do this.
Yeah, this is the only broadcast you should be watching right the fuck now. Nothing else is happening in the world right the fuck now. You better fucking believe that. Oh, I'm swearing again. I'm sorry. I made a mental note last time. There was I'm not gonna swear, and the first thing I said was swearing. Also, I think that thing doesn't work like that anymore.
Yeah, who knows?
It used to be. Yeah, I don't think it's the same thing. No, never. Never fire her. This is a facade.
Okay, I am well, let's test this actually.
Hey,
yeah, give me the music first.
Start cheering now!
Yep, sounds good.
Okay.
Delay check now. Never mind.
I think it's fine. All right, let's do this. I am gonna count us in. We're going live in 5, 4, 3.
Hey, you guys hear me? Start cheering now! Yeah, let's get this over with. Yeah.
Woof, woof. Hi, I'm Mike Minotti, and I am a Nintendog.
Hi, I'm Jeff Grubb, and I am a Nintendog.
And we are the last of the Nintendogs. Today, Nintendo reported some sales numbers. We got, so it's slowing down, Jeff. It's slowing down.
Panic!
It's slowing down. Pokemon's finally found a way to make some money. Finally. And what would you like to see on the Nintendo Music app?
But first, we have the results of tonight's election. Pikachu is winning 66.2% over SpongeBob with only 33.8% of the vote.
Stop the steal!
My kids, Emmy did an election vote thing in her class today for Trump or Harris, which I'm like, I'd rather you not do that. But whatever, they did it. She comes home. We kind of talked about it a little bit. And they immediately, her and her sister were like, okay, we're going to do our own election. And they picked Pikachu versus SpongeBob. And
oh, wow.
They wanted me to vote and stuff. And that's a trap. I shouldn't pick one of those because they each have a favorite there. So I just put it to Twitter. And right now, Pikachu is crushing it.
Yeah. Pikachu is basically an animal with no higher sentience, but SpongeBob's an idiot.
Yeah, but it's rough, right? Who do you want to have the nuclear football, right? I don't know if Pikachu would even know how to open it. SpongeBob, though, would know how to open it, and that would be a problem.
Yeah, be real bad, real bad. God, I remember doing that. The first time I remember doing that, it was for Bush versus Clinton. So yeah, in school,
Yep.
and I think I just did what my dad told me to do, and I won't say who he told me to do. You can imagine, just imagine who the doctor in the early '90s probably voted for there. Oh, geez,
Sounds
but
right for me too. Yep.
It's funny how funny the things I remember. I remember that vividly, the election. I remember taking it like I thought it was important, even though I was a kid. Nickelodeon always had like the kid election things, and I guess they still do, which is a little wild to me because I don't know. The context seems different now.
It does seem it's a little different, yeah. but
they
whatever.
just keep on trucking over there in Nickelodeon world. We walked around that Nickelodeon theme park in the Mall of America before you got there. It was me, Dan, and Kayla. They went on a SpongeBob SquarePants themed roller coaster. I watched and waved.
Did they seem to enjoy it?
Oh, they liked it a lot. They're actually very impressed with it. They were big fans. Then we went to Margaritaville. I think I might be allergic to shrimp. I don't know. I used to not be.
Right. I mean, that's the kind of thing that can happen, right? It can like come on later, and you can have a little like increased reaction each time you have an encounter with it. This was like the second time the second time in a row, right?
Well, yeah, because the last time I went to a shrimp restaurant in California, and then I had a horrible like Crohn's episode. This time, and I don't know, maybe like the sky was protecting me from the Crohn's thing. This time I just had, other stomach issues for a little bit. I was like, oh no, I'm going to be the Jeff Grubb this time. And then it completely passed and I was fine. I mean, but
the problem is like one in California, right? That's not landlocked. That should be like fresh. Minneapolis, though, you're not going to be getting like,
It could have just been normal, good old-fashioned food poisoning at Margaritaville.
A little bit.
Look,
yeah,
I
maybe.
love Margaritaville. I'm not going to put it past them. That's something
sure, yeah, it can happen to the best of us, right? Yeah, and Margaritaville, definitely the best of us.
Yeah, maybe they've fallen down since Jimmy left us. I don't know.
Yeah, he was in there inspecting each shrimp himself.
Yeah, he's not there anymore. He can't help anymore. God, High Score said the Mitch stash is incredible. I don't know why. It never occurred to me to call it a Mitch stash. For audio listeners, I have a mustache.
Mustachey.
Yeah, Jeff has a mullet. You can't really tell because he's been wearing hats.
Well, it looks. The problem is, the more I wear the hat, the more fucked up it looks up here, and so I have to keep wearing the hat.
Okay, take the hat off for a second. Come on, I gotta see.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
Hell yeah! Oh, you look like such a dirtbag. It's amazing. I love it.
It's incredible. Yep. Oh boy, I'm gonna get that fixed up this weekend, I think.
There you go. All right, Jeff. Well,
it's not that funny, Chat and Dan Reichert. I don't think it's funny. It's my head.
Wow, you look like a stupid idiot. I don't know what I'm gonna. I assume I think I'm getting rid of the mustache. The thing is, I kind of like it, and other people like it, but the people who dislike it vehemently dislike it. And I can't stand being the subject of that.
Sure, yeah, you are like the people have this. It's a misjudgment that you enjoy like poking people, and that's definitely like you just want to be like go under the radar and then get accolades for your often very funny jokes and stuff. That's what you want. You don't want to be like, oh, I'm in your face doing stuff you don't like. That is not Mike Minotti.
No, I don't like that. No, it happens sometimes because I'm just so sincere. I can't help myself.
And Dan Reichert says, why would someone like that?
Yeah, it's a big mystery. I don't know. I still haven't like directly encountered my family. I don't think my parents know I have the mustache yet.
Do the people that dislike, have they given reasons why? Oh, you remind me of a cop or something like that?
That's one thing. Like people everyone's like, oh, you look like a cop. I was like, I don't want that to be the association. Really, I don't think it's fair.
I think mustaches should be able to exist separate from their association with police officers. But sure,
did Reno 911 ruin mustaches with cops? Is that the thing?
There was like lots of stuff. I mean, like Super Troopers, like their whole thing is like all of them have a mustache, and the guy that doesn't gets made fun of for not having a mustache. So it's a thing.
Maybe that's it. We'll see. Well, I'm going to at least have it for as long as it takes the rest of the kind of beard to grow into it. So maybe I'll have it for Thanksgiving. I get a really good impression of what people think about. I tell you, here's the other thing. A lot of bald people with beards, It's like, okay,
right.
This is slightly different.
Yes. Like, okay, so maybe not the mustache, but maybe like a goatee, maybe something. Is there any other facial hair sort of styling that you considered maybe trying?
I think the goatee is just a coward's mustache.
Yes. That's why, I probably should do a goatee, and even I avoid it because it's like, I don't know, something about it feels cowardly.
Yeah, I did a goatee at one point in my life. I don't know. It's all right. Hey, let's get into this. First thing here, we did in fact have. Somebody put breaking news in here from Nintendo.
Did you not see this?
No.
I thought you put this here.
I was taking a nap. I'm off.
Happen.
Yeah, this is Furukawa. All right, you read the rest.
At today's corporate management policy briefing, we announced that Nintendo Switch software will also be playable on the successor to Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch Online will be available in the successor to the Switch as well. For information about the successor to Switch, including its compatibility with Nintendo Switch, will be announced at a later date. So they did just have come out and said there will be backwards compatibility.
Yep.
That is good.
Right. It's good to have it in black and white in writing confirmed. Now, I mean, there was concerns about this in the past. I think recently the rumors and sort of the speculation have kind of come together, been like, this is probably going to happen. They've probably figured this out. But, you know, the jump they're making in terms of the chip they're using from NVIDIA probably did cause some problems with specifically pulling this off. But working with NVIDIA, Nintendo has clearly solved that problem. And all your games that you own on Switch will work on Switch 2. And the big thing is they wanted that because they also wanted Nintendo Switch Online to just work, because they don't want to have to convince you to subscribe to something new. They just want to have the seamless transition, because that's the whole reason you have subscriptions in the first place. That's why Xbox has had it for a long time, but that's why PlayStation jumped on board a little bit later, and it was a huge benefit for them when they went from PS4 to PS5, where they like typically you go from one console to the next, you lose a lot of money in that transition period, because a lot of people are like, I'm buying the new hardware, I'm going to stop spending money on software, and they have to spend a lot of extra money on research and development. But from the PS4 to PS5, Sony didn't lose a lot of money. It was the most successful generational transfer they've ever had. Nintendo's trying to make sure they get some of that as well here. So it was worth it for them to do it. And the benefit is we all are going to have our games that we've had on the Switch for the last 7-8 years. That will just carry over to the Switch too.
Yeah, it sounds like, with Nintendo Switch Online, you have that service, but hopefully, I assume that means all of those old games and things like definitely. That. Just a part of that. So, and
Wizard of Blah in chat mentions also people can feel good about buying Switch games still now, right?
Sure.
So if it takes a little bit longer to get to Switch 2, don't worry, keep buying those games. Go get Mario and Luigi Brothership. It'll run even better on Switch 2, although they're not saying that yet.
Yeah, I assume that's why they talked about. Yeah, well, there'll be further information. That might be the stuff about any kind of performance boost or whatever that will look like. Yeah, like you said, there were some people who was like, "Oh, well, maybe they won't have backwards compatibility. It's harder than you think." And I always believe them that it would be hard.
That's true.
But you had to figure it out. I think that's why I said the first time people were done. Look, I get it, but I kind of don't care. You gotta figure that out, and they did. So that's good. And
the reality is, it's hard because of the chip they were getting from NVIDIA. And NVIDIA doesn't want to lose their only really big console manufacturing partner. Sure. So I bet NVIDIA did the work here, and Nintendo, advised. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's like NVIDIA tech underlying all of that.
But so speaking about that policy briefing from Nintendo there, Nintendo's president says no change to Switch 2 announced plan. This is from Andy Robinson of VGC. Nintendo has reiterated it still intends to announce its next console hardware before the end of its current fiscal year. That concludes on March 31st. Furukawa made the comments during an online press conference on Tuesday. And sorting latest earnings reports for the 3 months ending on September 30th, the Switch firm said it had lowered its Switch hardware sales forecast to 12.5 million for the fiscal year. That was down from 13.5 million. There's a quote from Furukawa here. For a platform that is in its 8th year in the market, both hardware and software enjoy stable demand and brisk sales. But sales so far fell short of our original projections. Taking into consideration the sales of the first half, we revised the forecast on both hardware and software, and that led to the earnings revision. It's slowing down, Jeff. It is slowing down.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this a lot. We talked about it on the Bombcast today, but even like going back to the original announcement of how many Switches they were planning to sell this fiscal year, we said at the time, the only reason they can feel that way is if they have something to sell Switches, like some new big game that we don't know about. So if they have that, then this could still happen. And they just really haven't had that. So why were they so confident? And I think part of it was just they want to set high expectations, so it really forces them to think creatively about ways to sell more Switches, because they do want to like maximize their profit from this generation. Sure, but I think the reality just set in that they've sold Switches to just about everyone they could sell one to, and then they've also sold secondary and tertiary Switches to many people who have been in this ecosystem for a very long time. It's just saturated. There's no one else to sell to.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the growth's going to come from, kids coming of age and getting Switches, and, you have some of that and a little bit beyond that. But yeah, you're right. There's obviously just a much smaller pool now. And it has been a slow year for software. They've been able to have some steady releases. Even the sales, though, right? It's a bunch of games that are selling like 1.5 to 3 million copies. I think, they had some numbers like Luigi's Mansion 2, HD 1.5, Thousand Year Door around 2 million-ish or something like that. Echoes of Wisdom also around 2 million. Nothing wrong with that, but you don't have that big, 10 plus million game. Maybe Mario Party might do very well.
Right, but
that's
like, God, that's just different, right? Because you go to get a Switch as a family, and then you pick up the Mario Party you see in front of you. I don't think it's like, well, the new Mario Party is out. This is the one we've been waiting for. Let's go buy a Switch, right? That's just not the way those people are thinking about buying consoles.
Right, but, my kind of takeaway here is that, yeah, like the Switch 2 is needed, and maybe there's not utmost urgency, but there has to be some urgency to begin talking about that. And that kind of leads us into the other thing here where they're reiterating, hey, the plan hasn't changed. We told you already. We're going to announce it before the end of the fiscal year. Now, that was a pretty big window. And at the time, we're like, well, that means, it could still happen in September or October. And people thought it would. Those months have passed. And, when somebody says, yeah, something's going to happen by March 31st, normally when I tell somebody something like that, that means they're going to find out on March 31st.
Yes, if you give me room to procrastinate, I will fill up that entire space. So I sympathize with Nintendo on this for sure.
Right. So, and for a while, I was like, well, come on, no, they got to announce this thing soon, right? And we always said, but it's Nintendo. And now that we got past those other 2 months, and it's sort of beginning to feel like, whoa, when are they going to announce this thing? And if it's not, these slowing hardware sales don't prompt them too soon, are they really going to ride this wave as long as they can? I mean, do you think, I guess, where are you betting right now? We're still going to hear about this year. Are they going to wait till next year to announce the thing?
I mean, like betting, like I would like, if I was put my own money on the line or something like that, I would probably say they'll announce it sometime next year, maybe even early next year. But, I guess I wouldn't be surprised if we actually do get a small little teaser at the Game Awards. Nintendo doesn't need the Game Awards, but a lot of people do watch that. Keighley would welcome it, not just for free. He would I bet he would pay Nintendo to have that.
Sure.
That's not what's going to happen, but like a teaser could show up in a show like that. 90 to 100 million people watching that worldwide. That would make a big splash. That would sort of take over that entire show. So maybe Nintendo thinks about something like that. But like I said, if I'm betting, I'm saying probably early next year.
It's beginning to see. I think there's still a good possibility
Definitely.
It can happen this year. It could happen in early December, sort of independent of all of that. Why are they being so precious about this? Why didn't they just announce it at some point early in October? Is it because the thing is so much further out than we think? Is it because they're just being so particular about one thing or another? Is it because they don't have a date or a price locked down yet?
I mean, I bet all of those things are factors. Like they want to make sure they get everything just right. And the reality is, once you do it, you can't undo it. So it's easier to just be a little conservative and hang on to it. And if that means you missed the perfect opportunity to, you were talking about that it's needed, the Switch 2. And we were, for a while there, we were going back and forth, people who discuss this stuff about, well, do they need a Switch 2? Switch is doing just fine. And now clearly they've missed the window where it would have been this perfect soft landing for the Switch and an immediate takeoff for the Switch 2. So it's they've missed it already. At this point, it's okay, don't then panic and be all right, we gotta rush out with the stuff to Switch 2. It's still take your time, because again, once you do it, you can't undo it. So let's make sure that we have the messaging perfect. Let's give Mario and Luigi Brothership the best chance to succeed. Let's get past that. And then as we are getting to the end of this year, if we're feeling okay, that's kind of it for the Switch. Sure, we got some other stuff coming, but really that's it for the Switch. The last original game for the Switch that is only on Switch could be Mario and Luigi Brothership, right? Metroid Prime 4. I'm leaning more and more towards you these days, where that's going to clearly just be marketed as a cross-platform launch. although it'll definitely come to the Switch. I think it'll be a Switch and Switch 2 game. So after Mario and Luigi Brothership, they're like, okay, let's reassess. How do we have the price locked down, the date, all this stuff internally, so we know exactly what the marketing sort of March to release looks like. And if we do, then let's decide on when the best time is to announce this thing, and then just put every piece into place and go from there. And yeah, you're right. That could happen at any moment. But I think that they are happy to continue holding on to this stuff until they feel like they absolutely must do something.
Yeah, speaking of Brothership, reviews have come out for that. It's like a 79 on Open Critic. And I know it sounds like kind of hard to say. It's a little disappointing. You know, I mean, I especially in a year with so many amazing RPGs, I just have a hard time getting super excited about one with a 79 average score.
Yeah, I was able to, these games have been sold everywhere a little bit early, this game especially. So I got it from a store here in Ohio, and I played it a little bit, and I tend to agree with a lot of the assessments of it's a little bit disappointing. I don't think
you're a big Mario and Luigi fan.
Yes, I'm a big Mario and Luigi fan, so I that can go both ways, right? Where it's like, people will say that, if he's disappointed, it must suck. I think it's like, I have high expectations, actually, is actually how I would describe it. I have high expectations for the Mario and Luigi games, and I think this is an okay to good game, and I want it to be one of my favorite games of all time. That has happened with Mario and Luigi in the past. It is not happening with this game, at least so far. I've heard from other people. It improves after the early hours. I do feel like I'm beginning to open up the world to I see what's happening here. We'll be revisiting many of these islands for various reasons a lot, but the things that are disappointing is stuff like the writing. It's just kind of there. The exploration is rote. It's very routine. Combat though rules. It's great, actually. It's really good. So there's good stuff to the game. And I think the way it looks...
if only you can get Origami King's story and writing characters, and then this game's combat, right?
Saying it, absolutely. That would be the best. But I think the way it looks and sounds and the way the characters animate is pretty close to being there. This is me. I'm an old man, nostalgic. I think I still prefer the way the Game Boy Advance games looked. But if this is what the games look like now, I'm not complaining. I think it looks pretty close to where it needs to be. There's a lot of good stuff there. But I'm not going to begrudge anyone who's I'm just going to go keep playing Metaphor and not make time for this. I wouldn't blame anyone for that.
Do you think it kind of compares unfavorably to the Thousand Year Door remake? Do you think that's kind of fresh in your head? You're comparing to that a little bit? I mean,
there's no doubt that the writing of the characters in Thousand Year Door, at least early on, just blows this away. A big part, the plug characters, what are they called? I don't know, whatever they're called.
Concordians?
Yeah, the Concordians. Yes, they all. This is gonna sound racist, Mike, but they all look alike. They're just. It's hard to distinguish between them, so that I have this strong affinity. This is the one that builds stuff, and this is the one that you go to the shop and talk to them and whatever. They all just kind of mush together. And in these other games, it's Prince Peasley is such a strong character, and obviously Fawful. These characters just have these massive identities, these massive sort of characterizations, and that's not happening here. So this is me being disappointed because I am such a huge fan of this series, and I think it could be so much more. I would not give it a 5 out of 10 like the guy from IGN did, although I read his review and I tend to agree with most of his criticisms. But what is the difference? But I would probably be in a 3 out of 5 right now on the Giant Bomb scale, so 3 stars.
Okay. Yeah, I could see myself. I want to try it. I could see myself very easily just being no, I'm going to go from Metaphor to Dragon Quest 3 when that comes out. And, with so many games, it's almost man, I should probably actually care more about trying Infinite Wealth before going too deep in this. But again, I'll get a code eventually, and I will try it at least.
Yeah, I think it's probably worth it. Yep.
All right. Last thing here, the Pokemon trading card game Pocket has released, and it is earning an estimate 12.1 million in its first 4 days. That means it's earning about 3 times more a day than Pokemon Go is right now. Game's been downloaded more than 10 million times over its first weekend. Jeff, this new Pokemon mobile game is making a lot of money, and there's no reason to imagine why it should slow down. This is going to be a game that's very easy to update. It already has its first event going on right now, this Lapras thing. I'm actually quite in love with it. I've been playing a lot of it. It was a great game to kill some time at the airport. It's basically all I was playing at the airport while waiting for my plane, doing the CPU battles, opening my packs, getting big dopamine rushes because a card has like a surprise animation that plays because it's so rare, or it's so rare that it's just covering gold shit, what have you. I like this a lot. I'm very impressed with this app.
You think it deserves to be making this much money? Is it like kind of a like? Clearly, it's going to make this much money, but you're happy enough with it. They're like, yeah, people should, if they think it's worth it, spend money on it.
I don't know if anybody deserves this much money. I mean, I will say, like, I haven't had to spend money on it, and I have felt very, fine. Who knows? Maybe when like an expansion comes out, and I don't have that 2-week trial of the premium pass giving me extra packs. Maybe at that point, I want to do more. I don't know, but look, I can see why people want to spend some money on it. It's probably easy to spend just a little bit of money and feel like you're getting some kind of big value out of that. I'm not surprised it's making a lot of money. I'll say that.
Yeah, I'm going to. I had it on the tablet and I was playing with the kids, but I'm downloading on the phone right now, and I want to like do some of these CPU battles. I kind of want to learn this revised version of this card game. I've enjoyed a card game in the past, so I'm gonna get in on this. I'll put my friend code out there. We'll kind of all play together. Get into the zeitgeist. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, exactly. And the CPU battles are nice. It's also very easy to make your own decks because it has an auto build feature.
Okay,
you can even kind of like
that's cool.
You can like put the one card you really care about. Like you opened a special Mewtwo, so put the Mewtwo in, then push auto build, and it'll build a deck around your Mewtwo. Things like that. So that's nice.
Very cool. All right, yeah, that's exactly the kind of thing I need to hear.
Yep, exactly. So, been enjoying it a lot. I think it's going to be a consistent presence going forward for my sort of downtime gaming time. Kind of in a way that, Marvel Snap was as the last mobile game I cared about. I guess I just like these card games. But this game does make the collecting card aspect more fun. It has, you open the packs, you kind of use your finger to slice open the pack. It's very satisfying. They clearly spent a lot of time thinking about every little detail in this game. Yeah,
and I gotta say, as much as I liked Marvel Snap as a game, all like the art and the secondary art, I don't think I loved much of any of it. The art on these cards is fantastic. I think it looks so good.
Yeah, some of it is just like classic Pokemon art, and a lot of it is some new stuff, and it looks great.
Yeah, but I'm very happy with it.
And yeah, I haven't like played Pokemon cards in a while, but I have some nostalgia for when it was brand new and I was playing a lot of it. I still remember getting those first starter decks, and me and my brothers playing in the dining room for a while. The first expansions were Jungle, and then Fossil or something like that. Then the Team Rocket expansion. So yeah, I was into Pokemon cards once upon a time. So being able to play it again, and again, it's a modified rule set. It's made for faster play. It just feels very good. So I'm very happy with it.
I'm signing in with my Nintendo account. Is this going to get me platinum points so I can get some bullshit from the Nintendo store? It better.
Can only hope. We can only hope. I don't see why it wouldn't, but who knows? All right. Why don't we take a quick break? We'll come back. We'll read the super chats.
Yay.
Break. So we're going to do super chat and then another break? Or you want to do super chat, then the topic?
We'll do super chats, then a break.
All right.
Get a drink real quick. I'm drinked out. 1 second.
Okay.
I'm going to get an Oreo Coke Zero. Fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it.
Wow.
Transfer existing save data, Nintendo account.
Yep. My homie got a Excel going on. He downloaded an Excel from, TikTok and shit. Where like you can keep track of all the cards you have, and the Excel will calculate which pack is better for you to open.
Oh, that's cool.
So you have it. Yeah. Pretty cool. Pretty degenerate, and I respect it.
Exactly. It's the kind of degenerate behavior that I find very impressive.
Yes, if you're an MMO fan, if you play MMOs and that kind of stuff, you gotta.
All right.
At least one time, you fuck around with an Excel spreadsheet.
Sure.
For sure.
Okay,
what do you want?
I think
What do you want, Mike?
I'm ready, Mike.
Do the show with the super chats.
All right.
I'm looking at the super chats right now.
Great.
All right, bring them back.
All right, we're back. Jeff, would you like to read the super chats? I know you would.
Yeah, let's get in there right now. Let's start with Simon Esty, who says, Does the lack of hype for Echoes of Wisdom and Brothership mixed with Nintendo's investor call make you think Switch fatigue is officially here? I mean, I think it's hard to figure out like the chicken and the egg scenario here. Like, like are these games not popping off with a lot of people because like people don't care about the Switch as much anymore, or are these the games we get at the end of the Switch? Because Nintendo was like, we'll just kind of maybe we'll save those, keep working on them, try to make them better, and all right, whatever, put them out. It's the end of the Switch. Let's just give them something. Even if we don't think these games are the biggest and best games in the world. It's maybe a little bit of both.
I mean, if Tears of the Kingdom came out this year, it would have did just as well, right? It's not like its sales would have been any lower. I mean, Echoes of Wisdom was always going to do more like Link's Awakening remake numbers.
And it is. It's already at like almost 3 million or something like that.
Yeah,
it's like at least more than 2 million already, according to the financial report from Nintendo. And I think that was just from September sales. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it's doing what they expected of it.
And then, Brothership would be more hype if it was better. Like if it was like, one of the better Mario and Luigi games, people would be going bonkers for it, I think. And instead it's kind of middle of the pack. From El Grug. Hey, Mullet Mad Jeff and Officer Michael Minotti. Who are you guys voting for the Game Mess Hall of Fame today? I think the movie Noobs should get in. Yeah, sure. Let's just do that.
I am really fascinated, like about you just having to sit there and watch Noobs very late into the stream with no stimulation. Like, I mean, was it like just absolutely painful? Was it like hurting? Were you kind of able to get through it? Did you have to do sort of distraction techniques? Were you paying attention to the movie the whole time, or did your mind wander? I need to know.
Yeah, so I had several sort of. There was an early time when Dan came to check in. And he's like, "I want to make sure you're not falling asleep," and I wasn't at all at that point. And then as soon as he mentioned the word sleep, I started getting very tired.
Oh no!
So I did start to like doze off while sitting there. So I got up. I did some like hamstring exercises. I was like kind of like doing one-legged Romanian deadlifts and stuff like that. Just like keeping my eye on the movie. I was standing up, leaning against the wall. I picked up the clock, the analog clock that was completely dead, and I was making the hands turn. I wasn't looking at it. I was looking at the movie still.
Oh, like a fidget spinner.
The movie was painful. It was a painful sit. Absolutely. I think it was like so shocking to like get sent in there for the whole movie that it didn't really set in. And I think I'm watching it and like there's parts where it's like, I can't believe I'm only at this part of the movie. But then when it was over, it's like, okay, actually, I can't believe it's already over. Thank God. There was an earlier point in the night where I thought we were kind of like, there's no way chat's going to keep sending us back in there. Maybe they'll keep doing Dan. It's very funny. But I was like dressed as Superman in Dan's medium Superman costume that was absolutely crushing every part of my lower extremities. And someone's like, all right.
He needs the balls.
Yeah. All right. And now Grubb, go back in there. And I was just defeated. It was like, there's the picture of the moment where my heart broke and when I got sent back in there. So I had already been at my lowest point with Noobs. So getting sitting there for the whole movie was just like numbing.
Yeah.
Simon from Saskatchewan. Is the Pikachu N64 game on the Blight Club list? The microphone must be used for it, though. Friend's little bro had it, and the voice activation was shit. I'd love to see a shoot hot Grubb in a Pikachu onesie. I don't know.
I never played it. I just always thought it was sort of bad semen. I almost feel like it's almost kind of boring more than anything, because, again, there's not much you can do with the microphone, and it doesn't work great. I'd be skeptical that it's Blight Club worthy, but it could be looked into a bit more.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's like maybe not exactly the spirit of Blight Club, where it's like it's broken and weird, but maybe not. Yeah, I don't know. There's games that are kind of similar to that we talk about, like Steel Battalion for Kinect, where it's like that is broken, but it's also a bad game, and also I think it's a From Software game, so it's just all around interesting.
Right, exactly.
Another one from Simon from Saskatchewan. I know you'll have a plan for Dan's T3 outfit, Terminator 3, right? That's one of the games he's doing, Terminator 3.
Yes, he's doing that one first, I think, before Drake of the 99 Dragons.
But I would love to see him dressed like 90s John Connor just for the wig. Yeah, well,
I mean, look, we don't have a plan. We're actually very confused, so we might just do that.
Terminatrix?
Like a dominatrix?
Well, no, that's the name of the lady Terminator in Terminator 3.
Oh, you want to dress? Yeah. I remember she wore a red kind of jacket. I remember she was naked.
Sure.
Let's just make Dan be naked.
Sure. Okay. Yes, that's what I was getting at.
Yeah, I agree.
Antonio
Oh,
Morales.
let's make Dan increase his chest size.
Just a button he presses and it just gets bigger. That's a scene from Terminator 3. Everybody movie I'm sure you've all seen. Antonio Morales writes in, says, thanks for doing a show on Election Day. Yeah,
you're welcome.
No problem, Antonio. Thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. George Green Thumbs says, turning out tonight with the Nintendogs and checking out some Dark Souls mods. What's your video game comfort food? Oh, tuning in. Excuse me.
Yeah. I like to play MMOs. Honestly, that's a lot of the comfort food stuff. I'll play World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy 14. Something I can kind of turn my brain off or listen to a podcast, watch a stupid YouTube video while I'm doing it, just chatting with friends. Yeah, I go to MMOs a lot for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, mine's kind of like in this the radius of like the year 2000, where it's like anything from like N64, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, GameCube. Like in that zone, you can kind of like throw me at anything and I'll be pretty happy. But I mention all the time, probably something like Wave Race or 1080. From Nintenderic, let me scroll down here. Every tweet should start with, "This is Furukawa." Yeah, it's pretty good. I like Nintendo.
I do love that.
Yeah, all the executives do that. Yeah.
This is Miyamoto.
Chris Pratt writes in, says, Mario Arcade playable for Switch 2 confirmed. Let's atomp some Toopass. He's so excited.
Happy for you, Chris.
Yeah, this is the day you've been waiting for, Chris. I'm going to choose. Yeah. I bet you made this happen. I bet you talked to Miyamoto. You greased the wheels. Thank you so much, Chris, son. From Burrito. For Mike's budding Italian dad mustache and smooth round lil face / Grubb's trucker hair. Good luck, boys. Thank you so much for the $5.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
My dad did have a mustache when I was a kid. Maybe that's why I'm just drawn to this.
Yeah,
he didn't bring it down quite as low though.
Yeah, looks good. Baba is me says, hope you boys have recovered from Extra Life. Instead of getting a PS5 Pro, I spent that money on the kids. I got to send Dan to the hole and heard a lovely karaoke duet of Sweet Caroline. Yeah, that's a good way to do it.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you to everybody who donated. Again, we raised just over $45,000. That was, I think, more than twice as much as last year.
Right, around twice as much, yeah.
Absolutely wild that it was that much. We were all very excited. We were all very happy. And, I had a lot of fun. There were some, definitely some points where it's like, oh, we're getting tortured. But even then, it's kind of silly.
It's just fun.
Goofy. Yeah, personally speaking, the only time I was starting to lose it was actually during the Donkey Kong Crystal Coconut thing, just because it was very late and I was getting sleepy. But
I came out and I'm like, oh, Mike he's delirious, like from this Donkey Kong. So yeah.
And so if people don't know, it's like that early CG Donkey Kong Country animated show, which just has Donkey Kong's characterization in it is very strange. I don't know how to describe it.
Strange, yeah.
It's all like mocap, so it's all early weird mocap, and then like it has songs. It's like all very musical, and the songs aren't bad, but there aren't enough of them.
From Tono Martinez, good luck, American neighbors, for no particular reason. Yeah, we appreciate that. Shout out to you, Mr. Martinez. From Coulter Lammy, thanks. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. What can I say except you're welcome?
Adam Juice writes in, thanks Jeff and Wario for helping to keep me sane in these trying times. Love my beef and cheddar boys. Yeah, they'll love you too. There he is. And then El Grug writes in, there is already a Jeff that works at Giant Bomb whose gimmick is wearing hats. Grubb should revive and take Mike's Slurricane gimmick for himself.
I'll look into that. Yeah. I heard what you said about the Concordians.
Listen, man, it's not my fault. I don't know. All right, that does it for the super chats for now. If anyone sends in any more, I promise, I guarantee I will read them before the end of the show.
Wow, incredible. Should we take that break? I know we said we would. It wasn't a super long segment there. Christian, you want to take a break now? You want us to go into the topic? I want to hear from you, sir.
Break.
All right, I'll be right back, everybody.
There we go. It's better.
All right, we'll just come right back.
I was about to say no, but then I thought better.
Oh, good. I'll bring us right back in now.
Hang on. There's a thing I haven't seen before here on YouTube. A super chat goal. I'm gonna start this. Don't feel pressured to do it, everybody. I just kind of want to see what it looks like. Okay.
All right. Listen, wait, Chef, do you want to pull out the thread with the submission from the...
All right, get ready for that.
Yeah. me a second.
Thank you
Yeah,
very
give me a
much.
moment.
It wasn't like I didn't say image only, but people can.
I mean, image only works. Yeah, they know now.
Images.
Hmm. It's easier.
Mm-hmm. Say
I
you're
guess it's easier.
welcome.
Does Moana? You watch Moana 2? The Moana 2 came out.
I don't think it's out
No,
yet.
no, it's Thanksgiving.
Thanks.
Again, I'm not optimistic about it, but we'll see.
Wow, it's not. Why?
Because it was a Disney Plus TV show that they turned into a movie,
Wow.
and
Everybody knows
Lin-Manuel's not
Disney Plus
involved.
TV shows are ass.
Well, yes, they usually are, aren't they? Well, the people seem to like Agatha all along. I don't know.
Oh, that's why you call. What? But that's Marvel. That's not like. That's another. That's the other arm of the octopi.
Let's see.
Okay, I'm almost ready here. Do you
Oh,
see
some
what
music
I see?
Oh, sure.
Mm-hmm.
I miss being a swing state.
I know, right?
That's nice.
Our votes used to matter. Okay, we are set up and ready to go.
Let's go. Thank you very much.
All right, Jeff, we are back. I asked everybody in our community what soundtrack do they want in the Nintendo Music app. We didn't really talk about that much, but that Nintendo Music app is out. Are you using it much? I guess is kind of my big question.
No, I mean, I whenever someone's like, hey, this new album is on there, Donkey Kong Country 2 is on there, go listen to that. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess I'll go listen to Sticker Brush Symphony because I love that song. And then I did that twice, and I haven't opened it again since. I mean, yeah, I don't know what they... I think I do know what they expect. They expect people to do exactly what I'm doing, which is download the app, use it a couple times, and then not really use it again much after that. But it's just one more bullet point on the reason you keep a Nintendo Switch online subscription, and that's kind of all it amounts to. Which, okay, I guess that's fine.
Yeah, I think that's like I definitely opened it up to check out Donkey Kong Country 2, which like is in a lot of ways maybe it's gotta maybe be in the Mount Rushmore of Nintendo soundtracks. So having that one on there, that was a big deal. And yeah, Sticker Brush Symphony is fantastic. Is there a soundtrack then that that's not on there that you really do want?
I guess I haven't looked at it too closely to figure out what's missing that I really need. Metroid Prime 1 was on there, right? So that's pretty good.
One is. I really like the title song for Metroid Prime 2, though.
Sure, yeah. That would be great. I would love to have all that stuff on there. A lot of great music from American Nintendo studios that they work with, Rare and Retro. But yeah, I mean, I kind of go back and listen just to a lot of random N64 and GameCube and then, Dreamcast and PS2 and PS1 soundtracks all the time. So I'm already doing that on YouTube. And if the stuff's not on Nintendo's music app, all right, that's fine. I probably wasn't going to listen to it here anyhow. But I guess if there was one that I would really want to pull out, it probably would be Metroid Prime 2. That's just... I like that whole trilogy soundtrack, even though I haven't played 3 all that much. I played it a little bit, but I haven't played it all that much. I still like the music from that one as well. And it's weird to me that when they have one entry from the series and they don't have the rest, I guess they're just kind of holding it back, which is a very Nintendo thing to do with your music app.
No, exactly. I mean, we have Galaxy 1 there. We don't have Galaxy 2. Although I think Galaxy 1 soundtrack is a little bit better than 2's. They're both good.
Yeah, I said Rare was American, but Western Studios, because it's the UK. That's right.
Wow, How dare you?
That's basically the 51st state.
I think F-Zero X is a big one. As much as I love F-Zero GX, I think X is very rock and roll heavy version of that soundtrack is incredible. So that's one I'll be excited when it's on there. So that might be the one I'll pop for the most. There's plenty of good soundtracks. So the thing is, there's a lot of soundtracks where there's kind of 1 or 2 songs that I'm excited for. As much as I love video game soundtracks, I'm not necessarily somebody who's I'm just going to listen to, all of Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story soundtrack.
Right.
I'll make video game soundtrack playlists with a bunch of them. And, you can do that in Nintendo Music, but with the selection we have right now, it's not necessarily a giant pool that you are pulling from.
Oh, yeah. Is the Link's Awakening soundtrack on there? Maybe if it's not.
I don't think so.
Because, That's the one soundtrack I have in my car on CD that I bought from Japan. So I would love that. I love that soundtrack. That's very, very good.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously all sorts of. I think the only Zelda one that's on there right now is Breath of the Wild, right? I think that's the only one we have on there right now.
That's odd because it's like, I mean.
Yeah, well, again, because I know that'll be big drops.
Yep.
But I bet our community is going to help us remember a lot of ones that we should like to see on this when we get to it.
Yep, let's do it. Wait, do I read these?
You do read these. Wait, no, you don't. I do. What the hell am I doing? I'm sorry.
It's okay. Hey, listen, I get confused too. That's why I asked.
Okay, you're right. First up here, let me get my glasses on. Is from Matt Lauren. It says Pokemon Legends Arceus. There's a lot of very good Pokemon soundtracks.
Yes,
Do we have? Are there any Pokemon stuff on there? God, I hope that's not something where it's a little difficult just because of the Pokemon company and
wasn't
everything.
There? I think there. There is.
I think Scarlet and Violet is on there.
Yes.
And say what you will about those games, those soundtracks ruled because there's Toby Fox shit in there, and even the other stuff is very good. So yeah, we do have that, so that's good.
Yeah, I'm gonna listen to the Arceus soundtrack. I think I remember thinking it was very good.
Tommy Pencils has F-Zero GX. Again, also a very good soundtrack. I like X's a little bit more because X is like pure guitar rock and roll. I think GX is a bit more like, I don't know if techno's the word, a bit more electronic, a little bit synthy. Synthy is the word. It still sounds very good though.
Yes.
And I'd be happy to see it. Jamie H1224 has Super Castlevania 4. I doubt we're going to get third-party stuff on there, huh?
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense because would Nintendo pay these? No way. Yeah, it's just going to be Nintendo music. But I would love this.
Adam Juice says Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Okay, this would really be my answer.
This is the real one, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of cheating, but I don't expect them to have every song on, like, some of the songs on Smash Bros. Is just like MP3 rips from the actual game or whatever you want to call it. And then some of it is like, hey, yeah, we got a couple, just the actual songs from Final Fantasy VII. I'm not expecting that stuff, but they have a lot of remix and original music, like that ska version of Ging playing Galleon, and a lot of stuff like that. The kind of modern vocalized Ashley song from WarioWare. I would absolutely love to have all of that stuff. So hopefully they have some kind of Smash Brothers Ultimate album drop eventually.
If they had the bulk of the original music from Super Smash Brothers, not the original recordings, like the original covers and stuff like that, on the Nintendo Music app, I would keep using it. Like that is that is actually the one thing that would make that app very useful to me.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Bop It TCG says, inject those trumpets in my veins. It's Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. So I know that I think so these are popular. These are the 3rd gen remakes for Pokemans, and yeah, a lot of these games have very good soundtracks, so I'm sure that would be awesome. Doomno Crossing says, oh gosh, turns 20 in just 10 more games.
Holy crap.
I keep holding out for a freaking remaster, and at some point here I might just have to pull out my Metroid Prime trilogy and play it on the Wii U.
What if they just use Shadow Drop it for its 20th anniversary?
Well, let's tune in for that. They don't have much. Yeah, they don't have much happening after Brothership, right? So, anyways, It's Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, everybody, which we brought up earlier. It's very good. I know in a lot of ways Metroid Prime 2 doesn't necessarily stack quite as highly as the original, but the soundtrack is still very good. And again, I like that title theme for it a ton. It might be my favorite Metroid song. Joy Z's got Mother 3, also with that sort of warning about spoilers that the app gives you next to it. Mm-hmm. Gosh, I mean, I don't know much about Mother 3 music. I'm sure I probably heard a little bit of it in Smash Brothers, but yeah, I'd love to get a glimpse of that soundtrack. Symbiosis says Donkey Kong Country Aquatic Ambience is already in there, so I think we can call this app feature complete. So yeah, I don't blame you there. It is. Yeah, putting Donkey Kong Country 1 in there was a necessity. Yep. As much as I maybe slightly prefer 2, 1 is also very, very good. Yeah, we got both
though now, right? We go just back and forth between Aquatic Ambience and Sticker Brush Symphony. That's a good way to do things.
Yeah. Donkey Kong Country 3, it's not that same person. I'm not going to try to say the name because I always get it wrong. But 3 also has a good soundtrack. It's not as good as 1 or 2.
David Wise. I think you said
There's Grant Kirkhope. There's Grant Kirkhope, David Wise, right. Yep. And I combined them.
Yep.
Villain Mac has Donkey Kong 64 and it's the DK rap. It will just be incredible to have the DK rap on that service for sure. I'll be super happy about that.
I would. Yes, I and that soundtrack actually not bad either, because I think that is also David Wise and/or Grant Kirkhope.
Bench JC's got a nice gif of Uni from Xenoblade Chronicles 3. The Xenoblade games all have great music.
I've been listening to that. I've been playing it before shows on Giant Bomb and here for the last couple of weeks, and boy, that music is all very good.
Yeah, I'm curious. Like, are some of these drops going to be kind of timed? Like, are we only going to get the Xenoblade X soundtrack when that remaster comes out, or close to when that comes out? You know,
I wouldn't say that's the only way we'd get it, but I think there's a good chance that that's exactly how it does happen.
Dr. Ryan has Wind Waker. I think I said this before. I love the compositions of Wind Waker. I don't necessarily love the MIDI instrumentation of them, but it's obviously a very good soundtrack. Dragon Roost Isle is an all-time great Zelda song. But yeah, more Zelda in general.
Yep, I would love that. I don't mind the MIDI, but I know what you mean.
Astro Wolf 5 says third-party games in general. There's Dark Souls. It'd be funny if we had Dark Souls on there.
If that was the only third-party soundtrack on there, that would rule.
Yeah. Gulator has The Gamer Rap by Mike Minotti. Is it up to 11,000 views now? Isn't that nice?
Well done. What was that before all this? Do you know? Do you remember?
I don't know. It wasn't terrible. But it's not good enough that if you look up Gamer Rap in YouTube, you don't find it right away. Sure. Other things come up first.
We'll fix that eventually.
Breadfish has SSX3, which again, third party. Good luck. I like SSX. I haven't played them enough to have a good idea what the soundtrack is like. It wouldn't surprise me that it's very good.
I mean, weren't all these EA Sports big franchises? Didn't they have licensed tracks?
Yeah, it would have been licensed. I don't know about that.
That'd be even funnier. Have that on the Nintendo app.
Chris 2K says best soundtrack on the 3DS at least is Fire Emblem Fates. Yeah, I'm sure we'll get some. I forget. I think 3 houses in there now. I might be making that up, but I feel like there might be something. But Fates will be good. Awakening also. Awakening had a great soundtrack, so I'm sure more Fire Emblem's coming. Here's one that I see a lot of people hoping for. This is Always Be Clothing. Octopath Traveler 2. Now, Nintendo kind of publishes this game, right? I forget what exactly.
Didn't they publish? They published the first one in certain territories, I want to say. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah,
Octopath Traveler 2 it has come out other places now, right? So it's it was one of those kinds of publishing deals. I think
not
so.
2. Okay, so yeah, I don't know then, but I know that this is I mean, even of what I played of it, which is not enough. I should have played more of it, but the soundtrack was amazing. Warden Cliff has Super Mario Land. Hell yeah, Mario Land's soundtrack is incredible. Yeah, if I can play that song from Mario Land for 60 minutes, that'd be incredible. I'd love that.
Yep.
Slayton has Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, I'm sure we're gonna get Tears of the Kingdom. Hopefully, we don't have to wait too long for that one, right?
Yep. That's one. Again, the girl's playing a lot of that still. She's still really obsessed with it, and so I'm hearing that music play all the time. And she's telling me about how when I hear this music, I know an enemy's nearby, and if I hear this music, I'm on my horse. I could just tell. I'm like, yeah, that's called contextual music, and we talked all about that. Is
anyone else though? Does the Breath of the Wild soundtrack, does that include that trailer song that's actually the one of the more popular songs from the Breath of the Wild soundtrack?
It better.
Yeah, because I'm wondering if Tears of the Kingdom would include its trailer song, which again I really, really like, even though that's not necessarily in the game.
Yeah, but it should.
Okay, Dean Bowling says the Nintendo 3DS system music theme shop, so that would be. I mean, we did just get the Wii music. Oh, apparently, Chad is saying that Breath of the Wild does just have that song.
Hell yeah! Great. Okay, cool.
So yeah, some Nintendo 3DS music would be fine. Bailey Boone, specifically the Great Mighty Pooh with Conker's Bad Fur Day. It would be incredible to listen to that freaking song about the poop monster in that app, huh?
Yep.
You think Nintendo would balk at that at all?
Yeah, would they have to put parental warning, explicit content on the app? That would be incredible.
I mean, they did warn us about spoilers. There could be a separate, mature version of the app, right? Just like with N64.
Hell yeah, I would love that too.
Zool34 says the RoboCop for Game Boy. Now, I know we said third party is unlikely. This is the only one we should have is RoboCop on the Game Boy.
Mm-hmm. That or Pictionary. Both of those are done by the same people.
Clink just has the Nintendo GameCube startup music, which sure, absolutely. Resident Evil Cryosis has Tears of Kingdom says hard not to think of a better choice.
Yep.
Octo says it's a banger. The Pokemon Trade card game for Game Boy soundtrack. Man, now that I am playing this mobile game, I do kind of have some desire to get back here.
Yeah, this is like when I'm like, I love these kinds of like our RPG card games that are self-contained. I should go play this.
I think there's a sequel to the game that came out in Japan that we didn't.
I have the English fan translation on my.
Maybe
analog.
I should play that. How did that not get brought over here? That's wild. That would have. How could that possibly not have made its money back?
I don't know.
That's insane.
Yep, crazy.
Input name here is Xenoblade Chronicles, especially that Gower Plain song, which is probably the most well known from the first game soundtrack. Yeah, that incredible soundtrack in all those games.
Across the board, great music there. Yep.
JD Kip has Dance Dance Revolution Mario mix.
Look at the hip thrusting on this Waluigi motherfucker.
That would be incredible. Beef Hammer says, I'm sorry, Mikey, and it's Wii Sports. That's okay. It's
sorry,
okay.
buddy.
Does Wii Sports have good music?
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of those early Wii Nintendo games had good music. Yeah.
Lenny Cool Dick Denver says, does the time they recorded parts of the F-Zero X soundtrack with actual instruments count? Glad I got the CD. It was out in Japan. This is the F-Zero X Guitar Arrange Edition
that
soundtrack.
Sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah, because there are some like actual CDs that they put out that aren't necessarily straight from games. Like there was that Smash Brothers Melee concert CD that you got with either an issue of Famitsu in Japan or the Nintendo Power in America. And that rules. And I hope they put stuff like that on this service too at some point. Why not? That'd be great. B has, this is Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I recognize all of these goobers. Yep, again. Absolutely. Weezman has... okay, you understand this reference. You explain.
Yes, it's Nirvana, the band, the show, and it's Update Day. Hang on, we'll play a little bit of it because it's incredible. Update Day is it's We Shop Wednesday.
Turn that up.
Oh, this
because
thing.
everybody knows about Luigi.
This thing. I know what that is. Yeah.
Neo, you say the lyric.
Donkey Kong 3, Adventures of Lolo 1 and 2, King's Knight, Dig Dug, Juman Food,
Harvest Moon. Yeah, it's God, they should absolutely put that on there. Every time it's Wednesday, I think about this song, and then I got it's to the point where I hear Steph singing it on Wednesdays now. So just a classic.
Teriyaki Blues is Bomberman 64. Get third party. Probably don't know. I mean, let's get that game on freaking NSO first.
Let's honestly, that would rule. I would love to play because I mean, especially with Nintendo Switch Online's multiplayer stuff, that would be a fun play.
Willow Davis has Ashley's theme's hit and WarioWare Touched. Yes, I love that song. I love the version in Smash Bros, but also the original. How did I not have that on my like stream Halloween mix? I love Ashley's song. It's so fun.
You should. I'm gonna replay through all of WarioWare Gold.
There you go.
What a good game.
Days and Bot says if we can only have one, if we can only have first party only Smash OST, it's Super Smash Brothers Melee. I mean, this was the one where they started doing some like orchestral arrangements. It's the Fountain of Dream songs here, which is that orchestral kind of intense, dramatic version of Gourmet Race from Kirby that kind of blew my mind. I love that song.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Oh, I'm like, bump. And then like the tuba's coming at one point, or the brass, or boom, 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 boom. Oh, I love everything about Melee. Incredible soundtrack. Yeah, I'd love having Melee soundtrack on there.
Gourmet Race rules whenever they do it, no matter how they do it. But yes, that's a very good version.
Yeah, it's a very malleable song in any way to do it. But yeah, they're doing it as like a symphonic concert piece. Works very well, which is incredible. Hammond of Texas says XG3 Extreme G Racing.
Extreme G Racing 3, yeah.
That's how you say that. Gotcha. So not exclusive to the GameCube, but it's the platform I played it on. The music compiled by Ministry of Sound fucking slaps. There was a promotional CD made and handed out at Vets in 2001, but was never officially released or sold. I would this is on my to get list for GameCube. I have a lot of the GameCube games I want, but I've been meaning to pick this one up still, and I'll be sure to try to enjoy the soundtrack.
I liked Extreme G for the 64. Although it was definitely like that was a fun rental, and then I didn't think about it too much. And then I've been listening to the soundtrack recently, so that's good. This I had no concept of how it plays, what it sounds like, so I might check this out. That sounds like fun.
Screaming Mad said,
Sorry,
What?
Jan is on chat. Shout out to Jan on chat.
Jan!
Jan.
Oh yeah,
Jan, check out my
mustache.
mullet.
Love you, dude.
I got a mustache, Jan. I did it for you. Hi, Jan. Love you. Hope you're feeling good, or better at least. Screaming Madden says we need Gusty Gun Galaxy. If only Nintendo owned Madden NFL 2003, we could get Andrew WK's Party Hard on the app. Well, we already have Mario Galaxy on there, Screaming Madden, so don't worry about that.
Yep. I will talk to Miyamoto and we'll get Party Hard on there for you.
Big Tony, the Final Fantasy guy, says Killer Instinct. Yeah, let's get Killer Instinct on there.
I would like that.
Absolutely. LA Miracle has F-Zero GX, which, yeah, just more F-Zero in general would be great. Johnny Boy with Animal Crossing. This is the 1 a.m. song. New Leaf, excuse me. 1 a.m. in particular is the best.
They have Animal Crossing. What's the Switch one?
New Horizons.
New Horizons. I think that they have that on there, and because I think 2 a.m. from that game was like one of the more popular songs. Like people are already crushing that. So, yeah, listen, put all the Animal Crossing on there.
Turbo Sean's got Star Fox Assault. Yeah. God, I want to play more Star Fox Assault. I'm totally in this game is underrated camp in general. I would like to pay more attention to its soundtrack. I forget if we have much Star Fox in there yet.
Yeah, but, I don't know. If we do, it's probably
so will be great.
Because I think the biggest problem with the app right now is you open up and you see like some of the consoles have like 2 or 3 albums on there. So it's like just safe to assume a lot of stuff is missing like this.
All right, so there we go. So yeah, we've got some nice suggestions there from chat. I enjoy that. Why don't we take another break? I know we got some more super chats. We could talk about if we've been playing anything, although for me it really has been that Pokemon mobile game that I've talked a lot about already. But
and I talked about Mario and Luigi a little bit already, so yep.
Yeah, it might just be the super chats there, but let's take a break so we can get to it.
Sounds good.
Breakaroonie.
Yeah.
I'll talk vaguely one last time about the playtest.
Whoa.
Okay. Wow.
Careful there. You don't want to get in super gel, extra gel, double gel, whatever. All right. Bring it back.
All right, we are back. Jeff, do we have any more super chats?
Let's take a look here. I think we do. I think the last one we read was that one. So let's go with these last 4 here from Bander SN, who writes, I'm voting for 4 more years of Switch 1.
Oh my God. Could you imagine if they had to stretch it that long?
Yeah, what would that even look like at that point? And especially like third parties are like, do we do another port to this thing? I don't know if this is gonna work.
Let's put the next Mortal Kombat on there still. God.
What do you like for Switch 2 like launch? Do you think like EA has stuff like Dragon Age ready to go and
maybe like Jedi Fallen Order?
Yeah, and Fallen Order and maybe even Survivor. Like
Dragon Age?
Yeah, Dragon Age.
Man,
yeah,
maybe. I don't know about Dragon Age. Maybe that's
I think
too
Mass
new.
Effect Legendary Edition like would be a great
that would be the one to put on. I would love that. I think that would be the target. Honestly,
I think
and those Star Wars games.
Yep.
Yeah.
Super sick Bud Ryan says, wondered if Jeff has interest in Mortal Kombat Chaos Reigns for Game Boy. For Game Boy Armageddon,
or Giant Bomb Armageddon,
or Giant Bomb Armageddon. Thank you.
This is the new DLC. I believe. For Mortal Kombat 1.
Okay. Thank you. A bunch of laughs. I feel y'all would enjoy. Anyway, big fan. Enjoy everything you do. I didn't, but now I do. I'll see if we can make that happen. I do enjoy playing through a fighting game campaigns. So we'll see if we can. If this is the DLC, I'll check it out. RT Bick writes in. Switch 2 feels like the most guaranteed success imaginable in gaming right now. Is there any possible way Nintendo fumbles the bag?
I mean, you got to remember how successful the Wii was and how badly the Wii U fumbled it.
Yep.
I think they learned from that, and then they know to just kind of do the Switch again for the most part. Now, I guess maybe it's going to seem so similar that it might be boring, but it's hard to imagine that. I think people are just going to be excited to get a new Switch.
Right. You know, there's like various tiers of successor consoles from Nintendo. Like, you know, Super Nintendo, also less successful than the NES, its predecessor. So it might be something along those lines, but, you know, chances are, I think people really want to play games on something like a Switch. And for as fast as the PC handheld gaming space is growing, it's just not the same thing, and they're not as reliable as Nintendo. They don't feel the same way as booting up a Nintendo device dedicated to gaming. So Switch 2 is still going to have a stranglehold on that marketplace. Also, you guys might not know this, the Switch 2 is going to have Pokemon, and that makes a difference. All
Yeah,
right.
well, yeah, that's right. God, Wii U, the only Pokemon game I had was Pocket Tournament, huh?
Yep, right. I mean, God, yeah, because this is basically their handheld still. So anything they have put out that's going to have Pokemon on it, going to be fine.
And Animal Crossing, right? So, God, yeah.
Yep, right. Well, yes, Mario Kart, Animal Crossing, Pokemon. Once you start like just in the like that's before we were even talking about a new 3D Mario and a new Zelda. Like before we're talking about those, Mario Kart, Animal Crossing, Pokemon go a really long way. All right. From Luis Garcia. Glad you all enjoyed Noobs. There might be more. What does that mean?
What the hell does that mean?
No.
What does that mean?
I think I know.
What do you
How could
mean
there
you
be
think
more?
you know?
How could there be more?
I'm not under any obligations anymore. Fuck them kids.
What are you talking about?
I did my
It's
bit
my
for
hobby.
God and Country. From Z.
What the hell are you talking about?
No, XC2 is criminal. I think Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is criminal. 3's OST is okay, but 2's is amazing. Yeah, I was listening to
believe you.
2's soundtrack the other day, playing it for people before Game S mornings and things like that. That's very good. It's a very good soundtrack.
Yeah, I remember some bangers from it while I was playing. Everybody called they're like the sort of industrial biome, open zone, or whatever you call it. I remember that had a very good song. So yeah, for sure.
I'm just like sitting here thinking like no, I'm not going to go the rest of my life without ever watching another second of Noobs. There's
trying
no
to
way I'm
figure
that
out.
lucky.
Yeah, what could be happening where we could be forced to watch Noobs again? Something happening at the Game of the Year I don't know about?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Is Keeley gonna play Noobs? Everyone's gonna get in there. It's like surprise.
Lock the doors.
No, I don't think you can get away with that. There's
Luis Garcia in
problematic
chat
stuff.
follows up by saying he.
What the hell?
He.
All right.
All right. That does it for the super chats, Mike. I believe that probably will do them for the show. If anyone else sends any last minute ones, I'll jump in.
Yeah, like I said, we kind of already talked about the games we were playing with,
I'm playing a lot more of the play test. It's going to end tonight, I think. We still can't talk about it. I'll say that I am quite enjoying myself. It is a weird game with a lot of weird ideas. Very much Nintendo's Minecraft for all that would entail. And also very much Nintendo's Strand game, also for all that would entail. But just like the basic things that you're supposed to do in that game, I'm finding them enjoyable and weird and like fun to engage with on like a fundamental controlling a character level. So I hope this thing just like, hey, this test happened. We're feeling good. Let's just put it out. I hope this thing's out soon. That would rule, and just kind of continues through the Switch too, because it really does feel like it could be not as successful as like a Minecraft, but like, you know, and also ran Minecraft. It feels like it could be one of the more successful one of those.
Yeah, I'd be curious to get my hands on it and kind of see what the final product looks like, right? How they package that.
I wish I would have just
sell
like
it.
found a moment to like put it on the TV for y'all at Dance House, but yep, we didn't have a chance.
We were busy.
We were busy.
All right, then. Well, guess that about does it. Jeff, thank you so much, everybody. We do have some more stuff that should be happening as we go back on Thursday for a game mess. Besides, we'll think of some way to have fun one way or another, I think. Gosh, Jeff, I still have the week off from my Games Beat job, actually, but I'm still popping up on Giant Bomb stuff when
we
the
appreciate
call
that.
is made.
Yep. We'll put up the sign for Police Mitch.
It's just a mustache.
Yeah,
and,
mustache.
glasses.
Yep.
Exactly. The bitch signal.
The bitch signal is always shining high in the sky. Tune in for some more Giant Bomb stuff. We might call some audibles depending on how some things go in the real world. But as it stands right now, probably a Blake Club tomorrow, things like that. Voicemail dump truck later in the week on Friday. We'll do some fun stuff here and there. So it'll be good. And then it's Tuesday now. We'll be back for Game Mess Decides. I'll look forward to that. It'll be good.
We'll think of something fun. Maybe we can find a list of fix. I don't know.
Yeah, fix list. All right,
Maybe
everybody.
we can find an election to fix. Yeah, you know what I mean, man.
Who's the news now? I don't know what that means.
No.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Come on, go cruising. Let's go cruising. Let's go cruising. Let's go cruising. It's a Come on, let's go cruising.
A lot of chords going into slots.
What is this, Jeff?
Enjoy your gaming.